Hey everybody, it's Kevin and welcome to Kev's Vibe of the Day. Today's Wednesday the 7th of July 2021 and I'm happy to be here. I hope you're happy to be here wherever you're catching this video. Let's get right to today's focus and message. Here we go. Alright, I've got Horace Chip, my little crystal skull. He's just such a magical creature. I'm so glad I got him. Right, so let's go shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Thank you, angels, for reminding us and me that you're present and for revealing to me what I need to know. I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to receive. I'm willing to share. I'm willing to give. And so it is. And so shall it be. So let's go do a little spread out of the cards like this. This one wants to come out and say, hey, so we'll let this one come and be the focus. Expect miracles. Wow, I like this, I like this, I like this, I like this. Now, not the first time this card has popped up, and certainly won't be the last. I have found, as we go through the seasons of change and transformation and transition, that sometimes these cards that come from this Angel Guide Oracle deck from Kyle Gray, sometimes these cards will repeat themselves. And it isn't that we're stuck in the same energy pattern. It isn't that, they don't want to move on. It's a reminder all the time that at all times, in all space, all good is available for all people everywhere. I think sometimes we forget that. We forget that in a world that seemingly is going through trouble, turmoil, it's the breakdown before the breakthrough. We forget that there are miraculous things going on all the time for us, for the highest good of everybody. We just are constantly reminded and constantly programmed and constantly bashed over the head with darkness, negativity, and this idea that we can't get out of this cul-de-sac of crisis. Things are going to happen always. Things that will negatively impact people always. Things that would appear to be difficult and challenging always. We cannot have everything to be all one-sided. Even if we were to have an experiment, a social experiment, where we placed everybody in a room that was happy and joyful and giggling and laughing and what have you, and we kept that energy going, like when you suck in the helium from a balloon and start talking in a high-pitched crazy voice. It makes everybody laugh and giggle. We can keep that effervescent going. And at some point, the energy will shift and change and cause us to feel a little less than jovial, joyful, happy, upbeat. And it isn't that that's what the universe wants, that at the end of every happy cloud there is a ruthless slap. It isn't that whether you believe it's God's will or demonstrative energy, there will be some sadness that comes. There will be the news that something catastrophic has happened somewhere. There will be a disastrous effect that we've experienced with a condo collapsing in Florida and many lives leaving the world. And the sadness that goes around for those that were not expecting that to happen. And those that are left reeling from those effects. These things are going to happen. Some of the things that are devastating are going to happen to us directly, that will directly impact what we do, how we behave. Losing a child suddenly, or losing a child period, losing a partner, the ending of a job, the ending of a life, the ending of a situation abruptly, without warning. Something changes, something transforms, and something alters. So these things happen. It's what we choose afterwards. It's what we choose during the mayhem that makes the difference. It would be inappropriate to find happy, happy, joy, joy, clap your hands, it's wonderful, at the end of a disaster or down the end of the road of someone who's experienced a problem. However, there are those that are compassionate, that somewhere in the light of it, there is light. Somewhere beyond it, there is joy. And when you begin to pray and lift your heart upward, and a simple prayer is, thank you, universe, for entering where you already abide, or thank you, God, for being here where you already have been. Thank you, angels, for being where you've already been. The miracle that we expect is that there is a universal help. There is a way that we can lean into something that's greater than what we are to absorb the impact that we might feel. But let's get to the real reason why I expect miracles have shown up today. And I was making that point to be clear that I might sound like somebody who offers the opposite end of drama, negativity, darkness, control. I might sound like a hippy-dippy twit and saying things like the magic and miracles are already within us. We already know what to do. The wisdom is already within us. The divine light is already within us. When someone isn't feeling it, someone's not getting it, and all they want to do is slap me and say, you are talking absolute nonsense. I want to sit in my sewage of sadness. Then let them sit in there. Let them be there. Because right at the end of it is something miraculous and something incredible. What I'm here to say today's focus is that miracles are happening. They're natural. We were born, that's a miracle. They're ready to unfold all the time. We are perfection unfolding, and we get to deserve to have a happily ever after kind of life. We have to move with the ease and the grace with which each issue comes. We have to sit quietly, compassionately when something does occur that we're not really sure what to do with. That is not the time to have a negative reaction. That is not the time to go caterwauling all over the place. That is not the time to look for revenge. That is not the time to be vengeful. It is the time to understand, have compassion for those who have feeling the impact. Brace them as they fall. Hold them as they get back up. And open their spirit to something greater, because now they get to use whatever it is. You know, they say that your problems become your purpose. Your mess becomes your message. A miracle doesn't have to be an extravagant exchange of circumstances. Doesn't have to be a lottery winning or, oh my goodness, I have been completely healed. This card brings a message that something exciting and healing is going on, even if it might seem the opposite's occurring. Something exciting and healing is beginning to happen, beginning to emerge. So we can help this along by acknowledging the angels that are guiding us, and also by recognizing our own self-worth, our own self-resilience, our own self-strength, where it is within us that we have actually manifested the miracles we've already had, where we've actually got back up, stood up tall and said, wow, I did that. I got through this feeling that I didn't deserve it. I got through the part that I didn't think I was worth it. I got through the part that I felt marginalized, or I felt put upon, or I felt not seen. I got through it. I made it. I stood up and I kept going. That's resilience. That is a miracle. And we should start expecting those things. You're worthy of miracles as they unfold all the way through your life. Your entire life's been brought together by miracles. Each situation that you've said you'd like some help with has actually been helped if you think about it, if you look at it. They're happening all the time, and they're not difficult. They're in the hands of the divine. So we have to start believing and putting our faith in anything and everything's possible. Vibrate with the cosmic light of heaven and let yourself shine. Whatever you believe heaven is. Heaven can be a meadow full of flowers. Heaven can be a mountaintop. Heaven can be waking up with Egyptian cotton sheets that's 800 thread count. That can be heaven. Heaven could be getting licked on by a puppy with that puppy breath. That can be heaven. Heaven isn't this place. It can be. It's just this feeling we get when these miracles have occurred and we're like, oh, thank you, joy, joy, joy. We're here. We've got it. It'll be okay. So start placing yourself in the golden light. Remember that whatever you believe God is, the universe, source energy, is all within you. We are part of it. That eternal flame I talk about in your heart space, that's never gone out. It's always been there. That little giggle box, that little bit of mischief, that little bit of you that is so uniquely you has always been there, light and shining and going. You are not here to put up with other people's ratchetness. And you need to learn not to create your own. Good things are ready to happen for you, but in order to manifest something incredible in your life, you've got to believe that it's possible to get it. You could be seeing a miracle that's impossible, it's too big. Ultimately, this is exactly what's blocking it. So change that thought. Change all those limiting beliefs you've had. Your own guardian angel is always inviting you to open your mind and heart and see what's being delivered all the time. Believe it and see it that it's already happening in your life. Feel grateful for the blessings and know that the miracles are ready to unfold. Done. So I'll share this personally with you. I told you last week, end of last week, what have you, that, some things would have occurring where I am in my space, my studio space. I've always had a sense that something bigger is about there for me. Something out there is huge. That I'm right on the edge of something, whatever that is. And I'm not concerned of what it is. I just know that I'm going down that pathway. I'm walking down that road because I'm attracting more and more wonderful people that I am happy and gleeful and joyful of helping to find their own light, to light up their own heart space, to say, listen, we're in this equally together, one-on-one, you, me, the world, the same. Not putting myself in front of other people, but saying, listen, there's a light inside of you, light it up. Here's the candle, here's the light in your heart space. I'm not telling you to pull you along in some kind of army of hippy dippies, but just to let you know that it's anything and everything's possible. You just have to turn the glum up. So I was sharing with you about the space. And I have a tendency to have been raised with some limiting thoughts. And they were good because it kept me from going off the rails. It kept me from being a little bit over the top. But then that also prevents the blessings. When it's being seen as you shouldn't have it, you shouldn't do it, that's not wise, that's not good. There are times when you pay attention to the warnings. Don't lean against a tree in a thunderstorm. Yeah, don't go swimming in a thunderstorm. Yeah, no. Those kind of warnings. The warnings that really are kind of physically dangerous. Don't open the door of a fast-moving car. But that's instinctive. When it comes to growing and growth, there's this feeling that, oh my goodness, this step is much bigger than I was anticipating, thinking. This responsibility. There's more, the first car loan you get, the first house loan you get, the first apartment that you rent, the first big job you get, that promotion that you wanted, that you can do, and they say you've got it. You went, oh my goodness, now I'm responsible for these people. Those big things. So I was sharing with you about this space. I happened to make a phone call, and then yesterday I saw a space, and it's enveloped me with possibility, with opportunity. And then there's this back foot part, the blocking the blessings piece, that's trying its best to get a foothold in safety. Stay where you are. Don't make waves. Just put up with it. Just deal with it. But then there's this heart space that says, I got to go. I got to make this happen. I've got to follow this glee. I got to follow this joy. I got to follow this dance of life. Yeah, but this is going to cost you more money. Yeah, but you got to go do this. And yabba, 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 yabba. The yabba voice. That's what's keeping it back. And in the yabba voice, this limiting yeah, but. It's a cutting off of what's coming, what's possible. Other people are going to tell you something is a waste of something else. That's their experience of it. And then you begin to believe it. And when you begin to believe it, the yes, but voice will push that up in front of you to test, to see. Are you ready to walk through it, move past it? Here's what I'll say about any of this growth that anybody's going through. It was huge that you got created to begin with. And here I get goosebumps, and I'm also getting ringing in the ears. So thank you, angels, for downloading this wisdom that's coming. You get this opportunity to not only be part of spirit, where you came from, how you got here. Like, how things get moved and you didn't realize they got moved, but they got moved. That kind of miraculous stuff. So to think that we cannot achieve and we cannot have and we cannot do what people feel is impossible, other people, not you, is a little counterintuitive. When we're in this life experiencing these things, we are pre-wired to want new and better, to want to continue the growth. We are pre-wired, hardwired to keep going. We're supposed to do that. It's the evolution of what we came here to do. So makes no sense to get comfortable, satisfied, okay, and stay and not do anything else. I mean, even some of the greatest authors in the world continue to write books. Even the greatest teacher continue to teach classes. They continue on the journey of bigger and bigger and bigger and more. Some decisions that get made seem reckless, seem at the time you're making them, oh my goodness, I am going to make a mess of myself if I do this. But you do it anyway, and it's not a mess. It's a miracle. It ends up becoming part of what you're meant to do. So, my friends, when you get an idea and a notion that what you're doing is a stepping stone to something bigger, keep on going. Keep taking those steps. From my own perspective, had I taken this leap earlier, before, I probably would have done it then, but I took a detour for a reason. And sometimes the detours we take for a reason are to show us that we need to pay attention to something bigger in our life. That will take you on this journey. Universe, angels, spirit guides will take you on that journey of limitation and lack. Just to show you, you aren't limited and you aren't lacking and you are worthy and you are deserving. And then bring you back on the course that you were meant to take to begin with. That's the point I'm looking at about expecting miracles. They're not the miracles of great extravagance, as we said. It's the miracle of learning and growing and saying, oh, those aha moments. The idea that you cannot do something is in you and in your mind and in your head. Yes, there's certain more appropriate times to do things, less appropriate times to do things. It's a balance. The biggest wisdom that you have lives right inside of you. Your biggest intuition is right inside of you. We are here to guide ourselves with the guidance of spirit, whatever you want to call that. Some people have a bit of a problem with God because we have been indoctrinated with different religious beliefs. I'm a non-denominational believer. Some have been... I was listening to a podcast the other day about a woman who quoted something from the Bible that stopped her in her tracks from doing readings or calling herself a psychic medium or channeling spirits. And it made me pay attention because this person is a well-respected author and a well-respected person globally. They have sold... well, I don't want to give it away because I'm not about to judge somebody. But the point is, I was taken aback when they were given the guidance, as they called it, from a passage in the Bible that said that God would admonish anyone who deemed themselves, saw themselves as fortune tellers, tarot readers, card readers, psychics, mediums, or spoke to spirit. And I sat back and thought, well, angels are part of God. They are messengers of God. And supposedly this energy called God lives within inside of all of us. And that we are the light of God. It says it right there. Whether or not you read the Bible, the Torah, or any of the other wonderful, incredible, wise books that guide us through life. That's part of it. The big creator, the big creation. But we get to be the creator and we get to create. That's it. Period. I don't know how that's wrong. I don't know how that gets to be admonished. And then I sat back and got deeper. This is where the wisdom comes. The wisdom's of being a miracle person. I'm always asking these questions. I did it since I was a little boy. Since I was tiny, I'd say, well, why? Well, why? Well, why? And there were some answers I got that I were okay with, and other answers, no, hang on, no. I got to get to the bottom of this a bit. So the why part, why would this person say this? Other than the fact that they're looking for people to pay attention. And then I heard the voice, as I usually do. Lovely little voice. My lovely little guardian angel that sometimes sits on my shoulder, sometimes taps my shoulder, sometimes comes in and gives me a cuddle. I love all that. It was in the book of something. Can't remember what the name of it is. But there was a book in the Bible written by somebody that believed it. That person who wrote that chapter and verse in the Bible put it out there in print, and it went into all these different languages and all these different versions, and the person reading it believed it and took it on and saw that as the new truth for them, and then took it upon themselves to influence other people. And then it became a bit of a judgment. And that's when I realized, oh, no wonder. So I'm often curious and I do ask questions. When someone talks about God, they believe in God. And my go-to answer is not a judgment, is what do you believe God to be? Some will say it's a man. I don't know, I've never seen God because I don't believe it's a person. I believe God is in everything that gets created. Leaves, trees, the wildlife, the earth, the dirt, everything that we have, that we use, the air we breathe, the water we swim in and drink, the people that come and they bring us this wisdom, all of that is part of this big, huge, galactic energy source. That's what I think it is. I believe it is. How are some people like myself have a near-death experience and say, whoa, hang on a minute, I don't really want to feel like going. So thanks very much for your invitation to come and get me to move across the other side, but I got work to do. And they said, oh, yes, you do. Whoosh, go on back, do your work. And this is what I'm here to do. I think that's a good time to read our daily thing from Melody Beatty and do a quick meditation. Put the comments down below, subscribe, share, get everybody on board to this. I think it's truth and honesty and authenticity that we need in the world. A little bit of, let's roll our sleeves up and get to the truth of this. And if you've got some comments that I can learn from, I'm happy to listen. Recognize the signs is today's message. Sometimes the universe gives us warnings. I was driving down a local highway in New Mexico, a safe distance behind the car in front of me. Suddenly, the driver slammed on the brakes to avoid a huge puddle, a flood of water in front of him. I stopped short, but the car behind me was following too closely and rammed into the rear of my Jeep. I got out, inspected the damage. My car was fine. The woman who rammed me had dented her bumper. No one was harmed. I got back on my Jeep thinking it was over. But as I drove off, I began to wonder something about the incident still nagged at me. Several weeks later, I was driving down a fast-moving 2-lane highway. Behind me was a large truck loaded with cars. In front of me were several cars. In front of the cars was a school bus. The traffic was moving at least 55 miles an hour. Suddenly, I saw the brake lights from the car ahead. The school bus had stopped to let the children disembark. I pulled to a stop behind the car in front of me. Then I remembered the lesson from the accident a couple of weeks ago. Sometimes I can stop safely, but the driver behind me can't. I looked out my rearview mirror. The truck loaded with cars was frantically trying to stop. I pulled my car off the road onto a shoulder, giving him extra car length. He screeched to a stop right behind the car ahead of me. Had I not noticed, not pulled out, we'd all been in a pile-up. And the children in the bus, well. Sometimes accidents happen without warning, but sometimes the universe gives us a nudge, a little sign. We don't have to become paranoid. We don't have to think everything means something. But we can trust ourselves to recognize a sign when we see one. That, my friends, is expecting miracles. Let's read, let's see what Maudie and Gail have to say. I'm going to shuffle through this book a few times and see what their message is. Oh, basically says, who the shoe fits. Not sure this plays into it, but it's a lovely picture of a yellow clog. I love Gail Hunt's images. Oh, there's another clog stuck up on the wall going up this way. All right, let's meditate. Feet flat on the floor. Bring your hands upwards for receiving. Big breath in. Release out and let go. And then this morning, imagine that bright white light stuck inside your heart space. Well, not stuck, but sitting there. Think of it as a inner light bulb, an LED light that's always shining bright within you. The energy, the essence, the piece of you that is authentic, that is light, that is bright, and slap on your happy smile, slap on your grateful self. Think of a thing that you are most grateful for, the thing that you know yourself that you achieved and you're proud of. Doesn't have to be huge. It can be getting up and listening. It can be anything, but just get grateful. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for reminding us of your presence and revealing to me what we need to know. Thank you for cutting the ties that bind us to people and places and situations and stories, drama, nonsense, and anything that no longer serves our purpose. We are safe and free, and so it is. Then capture yourself in pink light. The pink light coming down from your crown, the pink light coming down through your whole body. Magenta filling up the room, going out into your neighborhood. And then we say this prayer: thank you, Archangel Metatron and the angels of sacred geometry, for clearing the energetic space around us. Thank you for removing the lower vibrational energies that contain the stagnancies and the blockages that prevent us and keep us from love. We welcome your energetic transmutation and transformation of our space, and so it is. And as you see this energetic space all the way around you, relaxing, opening up, imagine that cars on your way to work are all green. Imagine the lines at any store are all straightforward. You can go right through them. Imagine that all you hear from the people around you in the places that you visit are nothing but upbeat, happy, bright, kind thoughts. And shine the light that's in your heart down through your body into the soles of your feet. Anchor the soles of your feet by imaginary roots into the ground. And from the space of your heart, from the love of your heart, from the joy of your heart, from the light of your heart that's shining out in front of you, behind you, above you, and below you, think of it as a fountain of love and joy and happiness. Think of it washing down over your belly, into your hips, down your legs, into your knees, grounding you to the love of this earth, the dirt, the grounding of the mother, the planet that's been here for eons, the planet that houses all wildlife, all mammals including humans. Healing and manifesting, growing, nurturing. Allow this light space within your heart to rise up through your chest, into your collarbone. Expand your chest, your upper back. Become as wide and as light as you can. Feel the vibrational energy of gratitude and love lifting up through your jaw, lifting up through your eyes, your ears, your nasal passages, opening up your forehead and your third eye center. Allow the light that's within your heart to pierce through the crown of your head, up through your soul star, the area 4 inches above your head, 4 to 6 inches, reaching up to the stellar gateway, which is about a foot above your head, 18 inches. Think of that as a ring where all your angels get to surround you. Beyond the stellar gateway is the source of the universe, the source of energy that comes to you every day, the source of wisdom that brings you what you need to know. And see your heavenly group of angels as similar spheres as yours. Round balls of light energy, all different colors, glowing, surrounding you, lifting you, embracing you, listening to you, hearing you. As you see these Round spheres of light surrounding your body, some getting closer, some further away. See the intensity of the light of the angels in the center of these glows. Begin to thank them for revealing to you that they're present around you all the time. Thank you, angels, for the vibrant health and vitality. Thank you, angels, for the unlimited energy. Thank you, angels, for all the smooth transitions that are occurring in my life. Thank you, angels, for removing the obstacles and blockages that keep me from living my best life. I am safe. I am free. I am abundant. I am joy. I am love. I am loving. And I am grateful. And you can push pause right here on this video. Continue breathing in. Continue seeing the light. Or bring your hands to heart center when you feel complete. Honor yourself for taking the time to readjust your day, to refocus and reframe your life. Lift your thumb knuckles to your third eye center, and together we bow and say namaste. And that was part of your daily spiritual practice. I'm glad that you shared it with me. I'm glad you spent it with me. We'll see each other soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.